Rust trait objects and unsized coercion. Greetings all. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of Rust trait objects. We'll explore their unique layout, how they work with different types and ownership mechanisms, and some quirky rules around coercion that might surprise you. Let's get started. First off, let's talk about dynamic sizing in Rust. The example given here is a spectrum of bytes-related types starting from U8, 40 to box U8. These are statically sized, the size known at compile time, unlike the unknown size type U8, which you rarely see because it can't be put in a struct or passed as is. However, you often interact with them via references like and U8. Now, let's zoom into trait objects in Rust and their layout. A typical example here would be file an open file type that implements the read trait, which means it has a dyne read object within its structure. The interesting part is that this trait object size, speculated to, matches the actual struct of file itself. It's like interacting with AND-U8, but instead, we have vtables involved in managing method calls for traits. Another aspect covered here involves coercion between different types and references involving trait objects, from converting a file into a reference to a dyne read without any fuss. This is an interesting point because it's crucial when working with APIs that might change over time, like file structures. The ability of Rust compiler to convert one type safely to another without explicit casting highlights the safety aspect of Rust compared to C++. One last surprising revelation from this piece. You can take a reference and buffreader then read out directly from another struct buffreader, file. This is made possible because file, despite its static size at compile time, could be coerced into being buffreader then read. That's some pretty nifty corner Rust has turned here. And finally, there's this neat bit about how box and RC can consume unknown size types. You can turn a known size struct-like file into a trait object and then read through boxing it within another type. This is useful for managing scope when dealing with data of uncertain size or lifetime. So there you have it, folks, an intriguing dive into the world of Rust's trait objects and their interesting quirks. Remember to stay curious and keep exploring this complex, yet fascinating language.